Today is Amazon Prime Day, and of all the things that are on sale, we need to figure out whether or not the stock itself is on sale and whether or not you should buy. Let's go ahead and break it down. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, Top 1 Financial Advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. All right, like I said, Amazon Prime Day is today, it is tomorrow. There are a lot of things that are on sale, but is the stock actually on sale? Should you buy it? Is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? I'm gonna give you all of that, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you my thoughts on what the stock price should be based on everything that's going on. So let's quickly just run through it. So you know, Amazon, AMZN is the stock symbol there, and it is primarily a retail stock, but they do a lot of other things which I would argue might be a problem. They do streaming, they do live sports, they do Amazon Web Services. Everything in between they are currently doing. But how do they stack up to the overall stock market? Now, most tech stocks right now are up significantly, especially over the last 6 months. Amazon is up roughly 40%, which is in line with the Microsofts, the Googles, and all the others. However, once I back up over a year, which obviously encapsulates a lot more data, Amazon is up roughly 9%. How does that stack up to some of its major competitors? If I look at Costco, Costco is up roughly 6% over last year. If I'm looking at Microsoft, Microsoft is up 25% over last year. And then if I look at Google, Google is actually negative 3% over last year. So it's kind of middle of the road, but what really, I guess, sells the point here is this. The S&P 500, the stock market, is up 15% in the last year. And here's the kicker. If I can invest in the S&P 500 and make more money than investing in one single stock, I'm going to go ahead and ride with the S&P 500 here in this case. Now with Amazon, the biggest thing that stood out to me is 2021 and 2022. They had negative cash flows, meaning that of all the operations, buying and selling stuff, creating movies, putting on their streaming services, and people either buying those movies or at least subscribing to those services, they lost $14 billion in 2021, and then be able to check this, they lost $16 billion in 2022. That to me stands out. And that's not great, because it's one thing if you are a brand new tech company and you're losing money, that is common. Amazon is well over 20 years old. And prior to the pandemic, they were a cash cow, making $9 billion a year, $11 billion a year. And this is, free cash flow. So this is money they have really just left over. The cash that actually grew, they had it in spades at that point in time. Now, we do know that Amazon did spend a lot of money in 2021, a lot of money in 2022. One, for hiring. Two, for a lot of these bigger purchases. Remember, they bought Roomba, they bought MGM Studios. If you are following any of the Amazon streaming shows, you know they're spending millions of dollars putting out that content. Whether or not the content is good or not depends on what show you may or may not be watching, but that is their issue to me. Here's what I think in terms of buying the stock now and at what price makes sense, okay? It comes down to your expected growth. How big do you think Amazon is going to continue to grow? Notice it's already quite big. Now, if you take a 25% growth rate, which I think is high, but hear me out. If you take a 25% growth rate, right now the stock is overvalued. If you do that, I think the stock is valued at about $107 per share. Right now, it's roughly $127 at the time that I'm doing this recording. So if it's worth $107 and it's trading at $127, it's overvalued. However, if you think that Amazon is going to grow 60 to 70% per year, then the stock is well undervalued, and the stock could be anywhere between $600 to $700 a share in terms of value. Now, you might be thinking, why are you giving me 25%? Why are you telling me it's going to grow 60 to 70% per year? The 60 to 70% was actually from Yahoo Finance, and that is from their analyst consensus. I think that number is wild because Amazon is already quite large. However, they still have room to grow in the streaming service space. They still have room to grow in the Amazon Web Services space. So they do still have spaces to grow, but that was their number. And if they're telling me 60 to 70% growth, I say, look, I can't believe that. Let me cut that in half and then some and go to 25. That's quite conservative in my book. Okay, so I'm not the one throwing it out there, but I think that is really what you want to pay attention to. Do you think they're going to grow modestly, which is what they have done the last 2 years, or do you think they're going to grow aggressively? If your answer is aggressively, then it might make sense to go ahead and buy Amazon. If you think that it is more conservative and that it's, it's already behemoth, they can only grow but so large, think of it like a large cruise ship. It can only turn but so fast, right? It's not a small tech company anymore. It's not a jet boat, whatever you call those things, the jet skis. Y'all know. Those things move fast. They can turn pretty quickly. But once you're as big as an Amazon, it's not always that easy to do. So that is what I really want you to pay attention to see whether or not this makes sense for you to invest in. Now, currently, I'm holding the Amazon shares I've been holding the last few years. Now, I did sell off a good chunk back in 2021, and I said, look, I'm just going to continue to hold. I'm not going to buy any new shares. I'm still of that position. So that's where I am. If you got it, you might as well hold it. But the question is whether or not you think it's going to continue to grow and do so aggressively. That would mean to buy, or do you think it's going to be conservative and just kind of peter on as it has over the last 2 years? That answer is going to be told to us in the future, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Lastly, another suggestion that you might want to check out is our video on which stock is going to be the best in the over the next 5 years between Amazon and Google. I will put that video up on the screen. Check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, that's it. Talk to y'all later.